Welcome to this week's University English video. This week, the theme is heroes. And who is your hero? Of course, your parents and your English professor, those are both heroes. But outside of your parents and your English professor, who's your hero? Now, I'll read the vocabulary words, and I read them so that you can hear them, but also so that you can repeat them. If you repeat them, your pronunciation will get much better. Let's start. Hero. Noble, selfless, empathetic. Here, the emphasis is on thetic, right? Empathetic, charitable, honorable, courage, rescue, sacrifice, role model. Well done. Now, I'll read the definitions to you, and again, I encourage you to repeat what you hear. Hero, a person admired for bravery and noble qualities. Noble, morally upright and honorable. Selfless, putting others' needs before one's own. Empathetic, understanding and sharing others' feelings. Charitable, generous and willing to help those in need. Honorable, worthy of respect due to moral integrity. Courage, facing fear or adversity with bravery. Rescue, saving someone or something from danger. Sacrifice, giving up something valuable for others or a cause. Role model, someone whose behavior is emulated by others. And now for some more vocabulary words. Please do repeat. Inspiration, integrity, legacy, triumph, defender, fearless, justice, savior, admiration, compassion. Please listen to and repeat these definitions. Inspiration, stimulus for creative thought or motivation. Integrity, honesty and strong moral principles. Legacy, lasting impact passed down through generations. Triumph, great victory or achievement. Defender, one who protects against harm or criticism. Fearless, bold and unafraid, not intimidated by danger. Justice, fairness and impartiality in treatment and allocation. Savior, rescuer who saves others from harm or difficulty. Admiration, respect towards someone or something. Compassion, showing deep sympathy for others' suffering. And here are some example sentences to listen to and repeat. Hero. The hero saved the day with incredible bravery. Noble. She lived a noble life, always helping others. Selfless. His selfless actions inspired everyone around him. Empathetic. Being empathetic, she understood their pain. Charitable. They have always been charitable, giving to the needy. Honorable. His honorable conduct earned him respect. Courage. Facing the challenge, she showed immense courage. Rescue. The firefighters performed a daring rescue. Sacrifice. His sacrifice for his family will always be remembered. Role model. She has been a role model for aspiring young artists. Inspiration. Nature is a great inspiration for many writers. Integrity. He is known for his integrity and honesty. Legacy. His legacy lives on through his art. Triumph. Their triumph in the championship was celebrated by all. Defender. The defender blocked the opponent's goal attempts. Fearless. She is fearless in the face of challenges. Justice. Justice should be accessible to everyone. Savior. He is regarded as the savior of the town. Admiration. Her kindness earned her the admiration of many. Compassion. Compassion towards animals is a sign of a kind heart. This week's grammar section will focus on reported speech. Reported speech is when you say what somebody else said or did. But let's read the official definition. Reported speech, also known as indirect speech, is a way of reporting what someone else has said without quoting their exact words. In reported speech, the speaker conveys the meaning of the original speaker's words while also adjusting pronouns, tenses, and other elements to fit the context of the reporting sentence. So we will look at how you change pronouns, tenses, time expressions, modal and adverbs, and as well how you use reported speech for questions. So first, changing pronouns. Direct speech. She said, I'm going to the market. But if you do this in reported speech, you say what someone else said. You said, she said that she was going to the market. Change the pronoun. You change the tenses. In direct speech, you might say, he said, I will visit you tomorrow. In reported speech, you say, he said that he would visit me the next day. You can change time expressions. In direct speech, you might say, they said, we are leaving today. It's what they said. But in reported speech, you might say, they said that they were leaving that day. Modals and adverbs. In direct speech, she said, I can swim well. That's what she said. But in reported speech, when you say what she said, you might say, she said that she could swim well. And in questions, in direct speech, he asked, are you coming to the party? But in reported speech, he asked if I was coming to the party. Reported speech tense changes. So when you talk about what somebody else did or said, you're talking about what somebody else did or said before, right? So it's going to be something that isn't happening now, but something that happened before. So to do that, you have to change the tense, right? 현재 CJ ane 말고 과거 CJ, right? And so let's look at some examples. And on the left, we see the present, the way you'd say it in the present. And on the right, we say the way you would say it in reported speech with a past tense. Okay, so let's start at the top left. Present simple. I am a teacher. Past simple. He said he was a teacher. Left side. Present continuous. I am having lunch with my parents. Past continuous. On the right side. He said he was having lunch with his parents, right? He said it in the past. On the left side, present perfect simple. I have been to France 3 times. On the right side, past present simple. He said he had been to France 3 times. On the left, present perfect continuous. I've been working very hard. On the right, again, reported speech, indirect speech. He said he had been working very hard. On the left, we have the past simple. I bought a new car. So he said something about the past in the past. So if we look at the right, we have the past perfect. He said he had bought a new car. On the left, we have the past continuous. It was raining earlier. On the right, we have the past perfect continuous. He said it had been raining earlier. On the left, the past perfect. The play had started when I arrived. On the right, you see there's no change possible, right? He said the play had started when he arrived. On the left, bottom left, past perfect continuous. I had already been living in London for 5 years. On the right, again, there's no change possible. You could just say, he said he'd been living in London for 5 years. Lastly, we're going to summarize this with a lot of contrast. And again, these are very useful. They're great as a reference if you're writing. I would just listen and repeat a lot. I think that's the way to get used to doing reported speech. Practice what you heard. He said, she said. And again, just get used to it. But let's look at some changes in reported speech. Again, on the left, you have direct speech, quoted speech, and on the right, you have reported speech, indirect speech. And again, quoted speech is the actual words a person says inside quotation marks. On the right, we read the definition of reported speech, telling what a person said, no quotation marks, because you're summarizing what the person said. On the left, you see all of the grammar forms that we would use that we've gone over: simple present, present continuous, present perfect, simple past, present perfect continuous. On the right, you have simple past, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. Now, we have here some words that you might use. If the person says, I shall go swimming, you might say, he said he should go swimming. If the person said, I will go swimming, he said on the right, in reported speech, he said he would go swimming. Again, replace may with might, can with could, must with had to, right? He said he must go to the store. And then in reported speech, he said he had to go to the store. No, would, should, ought to, had better, might, used to, and could. don't change in reported speech, right? You're going to report it the way that they said it. So if we've got these forms, modals, these past tense, you might just keep these the way they are. Other changes in reported speech: this, that, these, those, right? Because if the person's talking about this day, you say he talked about that day. If the person talked about these things, you would report saying he talked about those things, right? Um, Today, that day, yesterday, the day before, now, then. He said he would do it. I will do it now, right? This is your direct speech. He said he would do it then. We're changing to reflect what he said in the past, so it's no longer now. I know that's complicated. Just practice. Get used to it. Tell me what I said after the video. Tomorrow, the next day, the following day. The day before yesterday becomes 2 days before. The day after tomorrow becomes 2 days later in 2 days' time. In direct speech, next week. In reported speech, becomes the following week. And last week becomes the previous week. Now, on to today's reading. And again, so that you can remember it better and that your pronunciation and your grammar improve, I'm going to ask you to repeat after you listen. Let's start, okay? In a small village near Han River, there lived a noble and honorable man named Mr. Park. He was not only known for his wealth, but also for his selfless and charitable nature. Mr. Park had a kind and empathetic heart, always ready to lend a helping hand to those in need. Mr. Park became the role model for the entire village, inspiring others to be courageous and just. One day, a terrible disaster struck the village as a fierce storm flooded the river, putting the entire community at risk. Without any hesitation, Mr. Park, known for his fearlessness, stepped forward as the village's defender. With unwavering courage, Mr. Park led the rescue efforts. He sacrificed his own safety, diving into the raging waters to save trapped villages and their belongings. His acts of bravery inspired admiration and respect from everyone, turning him into the village's hero. In the end, through Mr. Park's triumph over the disaster, the village learned the true meaning of selflessness and compassion. His story became an inspiration, reminding them that even in the face of danger, one person's courage, sacrifice, and sense of justice could make a difference, leaving behind a legacy of hope and unity. Now let's do the reading comprehension exercise to see if you comprehended, if you understood. So, first one, what did Mr. Park do when disaster struck the village? A. He hid in his house. B. He stepped forward as the villager's defender. Or C. He left the village to find safety. Do you know? Next one. Why did the villagers admire Mr. Park? Was it A. Because he was very wealthy? B. Because he was known for his fearlessness and bravery? Or C. Because he was a very skilled craftsman? And lastly, what did the village learn through Mr. Park's actions? A. The importance of wealth in the time of crisis. B. the meaning of selflessness, courage, and compassion? Or C, that disasters always have negative outcomes? So let's look at the right answers. What did Mr. Park do when disaster struck the village? That's right, B. He stepped forward as the villagers' defender. Next one. Why did the villagers admire Mr. Park? It's B. Because he was known for his fearlessness and his bravery. And lastly, what did the village learn through Mr. Park's action? B. The meaning of selflessness, courage, and compassion. Well, Mr. Park was certainly a hero, and you're my hero for listening to this video. I hope you learned a lot. I hope your English got a little bit better, and I really, really look forward to seeing you in the next class.